When I was told to have a 4-minute talk about the Cyber Republic, I did some preparation. I could prepare something, but I found Su Yipeng actually talk everything about the Cyber Republic, leaving me no topic to talk. And especially if we actually reserve something to talk, like announce the CR35, CR100. So actually, I can think, what can I talk? Okay, maybe I can talk something interesting, something regarding like the history and the politics, although I'm not really good at that. So Elastos, we claim we built the decentralized operating system. We're going to create a decentralized world. But why not we just decentralize ourselves first, right? Especially, the community, the members coming from all different countries in different time zones. The traditional way to organize people, like a traditional company, it won't work in this case. We have to find a new way. So here comes Cyber Republic, which is a new modern democracy on top of a blockchain. The most important thing, or most interesting for me, I find from the blockchain, is it allows people to build trust between trustless, right? It never happened in human history. Before blockchain, we have to trust some people. Usually it's your boss, it's the leader of the country, the chairman, the president, like the hierarchy. It was there for I don't know how many thousand years. But right now we have blockchain, which is new things. We actually can manage people, organize people together without a hierarchy, without a central. So that's really new. It never happened in the history. So when I have this idea, talking about how about we organize the developer, especially from developer together, I have another name. I didn't know Cyber Republic at the moment. It's called the EBP, which is a kind of crappy word, as an Elastos Bounty Program. But we started from that. We built the formal Cyber Republic. But once I know the name from Ron Chen, he said, oh, I had a domain name called the Cyber Republic. I suddenly realized, wow, that's a wonderful name, right? We actually we can build something else. Not only on the blockchain, not only play like games like a CryptoKitty, we actually can do something more interesting. How about build a new country, right? That's amazing, ambitious mission. So we built the Cyber Republic. And the Cyber Republic is something like Yipeng just mentioned. We actually we put all the power to the citizen. So how are we going to organize? Especially how we organize this limited power. No matter who, including myself, Yipeng and Fei, we are good people. But what if we have unlimited power? We could become evil, become the bad guy, right? So the right way to do things is we should have something called a constitution. And the constitution is built on top of blockchain that nobody can change, even if we want to be the bad guy. But we just cannot. It's not something we don't evil. We can't evil. That is more important. Since we have this idea, we have a lot of discussion, especially a lot of people from a global community. We get together on Telegram, on Zoom meeting. We discuss a lot, especially Nick from Canada, Toronto, Canada. He's a graduate from law school. He helped us a lot to build the constitution. I need to announce that we already have the alpha version of the constitution ready, and it will be announced on Cyber Republic website right after this ceremony. So I hope everybody who can join the Cyber Republic can discuss. You know what? This is your country, not my country. This is your money, not my money. You have the right to decide where Cyber Republic is supposed to go. So you are the owner. You're supposed to be vote and involved in all kind of discussion, especially, more important, the constitution. So I really hope everybody will enjoy your Elastos life, and also welcome to Cyber Republic. Thank you.
Thank you.
Okay.
Thanks, Kevin. Now let's please invite Fei Li, Miss Fei Li, Chief Marketing Officer, to give her explanation.
Hello, hello. So good morning again. My name is Fei Li. I guess a couple of you have heard of my name. So I'm very happy to be here today representing Elastos, actually for the first time standing on the stage. and also I'm even more excited about being a part of the community for the first time, representing Cyber Republic as well. So, Feng actually, gave a little bit information about what I was going to talk about today. So Yipeng was talking about the long-term vision and plan, and Kevin was talking about the voting power and the constitution as well. So what I was thinking was, how about now? Like, how about for a short term, how could Cyber Republic work? So let me show you from here. All right, so multiple people have mentioned the words CR100. So I guess my team is very good at leaking information. So, as the name says itself, we have 100 projects that we have already listed here, that we're looking for the startups and the entrepreneurs to build this 100 dApps, or other projects that are, making up Elastos ecosystem. And actually, each of them is clickable. We have, 3 categories. We have code solutions to the infrastructure itself, and we have decentralized applications, of course, and we would have some, like wallets and decentralized exchanges as well, solving different problems. So obviously, I won't be able to go through the whole 100 projects, but let's just click on one of these to show you, how it would look like. So it shows, a description of what it is and what problem we're trying to solve, for the entrepreneurs or startup teams. And we'd also have, show you why this is important, and also some use cases, and more importantly, what technology you need for building this application, especially why Elastos is essential here, and you need Elastos as an infrastructure to build this project on. All right, so we're actually investing in $100,000 in Ella in each of these 100 projects. And so we're encouraging diversity, of course, but we're definitely open for investing in more than one project from each direction if you're solving different problems. So think about it. If we have one submission for each direction, we would already have 100 projects that is submitted, which means only 3 of us, me, Kevin, and Yipeng, we can't deal with that for sure. So that is why we're also suggesting that, we could have another project which is called Empower 35. Which would be, basically the operational team for Cyber Republic. People from different backgrounds, like, they can take care of the investment, the legal part, and, marketing design, you name it. And we have 31 positions already open already, and we would have 4 open titles that we would figure out, what other, roles we want later. Yeah, just showing you how it looks like. And this website probably should be open, so you guys can already check it out. And then, so Elastos has been listening to the community, and we definitely care about the community. As Feng said, we are all about community, and Elastos is actually becoming a part of the community. It's not like a Cyber Republic is a part of Elastos. So we hear you saying that we need more ambassadors and we need more evangelists for sure, and we agree with you. That's why we created this Cyber Republic training program as well, that we select 10 people every season to fly to one place to take a week-long training with Elastos team and also a professional marketing team for learning about public speaking skills, and also to learn about entrepreneurship, learn about the vision and tech about Elastos as well. And also before you leave, to your own country or region, for organizing meetups or representing Elastos to speak at different events, you would have a certificate from Elastos Cyber Republic as a graduation gift as well. Yeah, so that's actually, this photo was taken here 2 days ago. So we're hoping that the first session would be by the end of this year. So hopefully it would become a good Christmas or New Year gift for you. And so that's the 3 new projects actually for Elastos Cyber Republic for the next at least 6 months. And as you can see, this is actually also an alpha version for Cyber Republic operation. So we're definitely going to listen to the community, and if you have any suggestions, we're ready to make a better plan for this. So, all right. I love the word that Yipeng was using as a citizen for Cyber Republic. And Kevin was talking about, Cyber Republic is like a kingdom or a country. So in the next year, the Empower 35 would become like the congressman of this kingdom. And we're having this 100 apps, and each of them would have their users, which is more like mayors and citizens. So all these positions, either the congressman position or the mayor position or the citizen positions, are open for applications now. So we're hoping that you guys can also join us, and to make a Cyber Republic together. So that's from me today. Thank you so much.
Thank you. Thank you to Ms. Fei Li from the Cyber Republic. Very wonderful structure to explain to our community. So obviously in the future, Elastos will be pushing the community-driven operation even further. We believe our community building will need the joint effort for all of our members. So next, we're going to share some experience of on my script pilot study of global community operation. However, I understand the first guest we have invited is Mr. Ken Daito from UK, who is also my boss and my co-partner of our companies. That he comes from a real estate background, and he is also connected with high-level people in the UK and across the globe. So I think after the morning session, he would have had some observations on how we could push Elastos forward to a higher level. Because as Mr. Han Feng has talked about this morning, we need the mainstream, whether it's Wall Street, finance, or whichever industry, to be recognizing what we are doing with Elastos, with blockchain. And therefore, I think Mr. Daito might have some of his thoughts to put forward and to share with people. So let's welcome Mr. Ken Daito.
Thanks, Ding. Those of you that know Ding would realize straight away that I could never be her boss. It's the other way around. What a fantastic event. It's so exciting to be here amongst you all and to hear such the vision. It's wonderful. And more importantly, I followed Wonder Woman on stage. How incredible was that? This is an exciting time. I'm probably older than most of you here. I've been in the real estate property business for over 30 years. I've been on chairs of universities. I've been on chairing various government boards. I'm just about to become chair of a student organization that provides grants and housing for over 100 students in the UK with assets over 100 million sterling. And so I'm very aware of the issues that face us. I've seen bear markets, I've seen bull markets, I've seen .com rise and crash. So I've seen most of it in some way or another. So I have my eyes wide open. In 2016, I formed UK-China Catalyst with Ding to really start at looking how could we bridge the gap between the East and the West. And that led actually us to get involved in looking at blockchain and crypto generally. So last year we formed a blockchain division, and we've started investing in a number of key companies, not least of which in Elastos, which we're very, very proud of. And we see great opportunities. But because of my experience and perhaps a slight jaundice of the world in general, and it's no mistake that I'm actually wearing a suit rather than one of your lovely T-shirts. I'm not being rude. Actually, what I'm saying is actually outside of this room is a world where the suits, the politicians, the investors take a slightly different view of things. And I think we need to be very aware as Elastos going forward as to how we address that. Now, this morning I've been really heartened by the very strong words that have come out about how you are going to embrace taking Elastos to market, make it successful. I've heard fantastic words: ecosystem, trust, mergers, visions, communities. Those are all very powerful words which I totally endorse. But alongside that, you need credibility, reputation, confidence, brand awareness. I'm not saying you haven't got that. Elastos has. It's got it in bucketfuls. But we need to deal with the politicians, the financiers, the investors, and the media. Now, I've just got a copy here of the Nation, Bangkok Post, etc. Over the last week, the papers have been full here in Thailand of corruption in crypto. There's a big case going on at the moment. These sort of things are what people read. People outside this room look at those stories and go, crypto, fraud, etc., etc. We need to overcome all that. So the words about creating the republic are very powerful, but we need to get that message across to the wider world. And that, I think, is one of our biggest challenges. And I think if we're going to be sustainable, and I'm actually old enough where I was a hippie, sort of growing up with where the people now are in Silicon Valley, we need to have a sustainable solution. So let's take the messages that we're hearing today, let's take them outside, into government, into the media, into the investors, and into the bankers. Because I think if we do that, and I think the basic message that you have of Elastos is incredibly powerful, let's build on that. Thank you very much for your time.
Thank you, Ken, for your inspirational talk. I'm sure he has a lot more to say, but we can talk about it during the day. So next, let's invite Mr. Wei Ming-xin to talk about his experience.
Good morning. Yeah, I'm so honored to be here because as a long friend of Elastos and also a long friend with Han Feng and Chen Rong, so I'm so happy to be here. Happy anniversary to Elastos. So as a community member, I have been thinking about how we can do, so what we can do to make Elastos great. We have heard a lot of great stories. And I think right now we are in the stage to build a bridge to connect the basic Elastos vision to the real world people. So that's because from entrepreneur and engineer perspective, I'm thinking something we can do. So this is a new initiative we raised and we proposed and we try to do from the community part. So we call it direct marketing, decentralized marketing and e-commerce platform. So in short, it's called DMA. So I think everybody knows the two sentences we have right now. So that actually is the core vision I learned from Elastos. So from Chen Rong and Han Feng, right? So first I know, okay, so you should own your data in decentralized world. So that's essential to be secure and you can use it and even you can monetize it. The second part is I learned actually from Han Feng's book, right? So we can, we not only have you manage your data, but also we turn your data into your fortune. So that's a great vision that Elastos attracted me a lot. So right now we are in the stage to have an alpha release. So what we have blockchain, we have runtime, we have carrier. Those are the fundamental blocks. We need to have it first. Then actually we need to have Elastos services. So Elastos services actually is a service layer on top of the basic infrastructure, which is the connector to enable a lot of developers to really do something real on top of Elastos. So I think this layer is very, very important. So I'm happy to make DMA as part of the Elastos services. So that's something we try to do. So from the traditional world, we know, okay, so we do marketing and commerce. So there's always a middleman doing everything for us, right? So in that case, even the buyer and seller still reach some kind of goals and the deals. So the middleman makes the most of it. So that's something we are living with, but we're not happy with. So Elastos actually enabled us a way to do decentralized marketing and commerce. So I'm not going into any details today, so I just want to say Elastos DMA try to be the bridge between the buyer and seller. So we let them directly talk to each other and also directly make deals with each other. So we call it DMA, right? Decentralized Marketing and Commerce. So basically to deal with two aspects, most important two aspects. So personal data and the digital asset. So on the personal data part, so we help you to collect, structure, manage, and even monetize your data. So that's, of course, with your permission. So the second part is a digital asset. So there are so many things we can tokenize and put into digital asset. So like event ticket, right? Movie, music, copyrighted content, a lot of stuff. So we can tokenize it and put into digital asset platform. So basically what people see is still the same behavior. So they can buy, they can sell, they can manage, and they can exchange, right? So the difference is we have something replaced, middleman, the greedy middleman. So we have the way to help people to distribute money, profit, in the way it should be. So which you can understand, maybe it's powered by a lot of smart contract on top of Elastos DMA. So this is a real-time example. So we have a lot of use cases. I'm not going to everyone of it. So StubHub, probably most of you know that. So this is very important. They actually is the middleman for our entertainment ticket, event ticket. So they did it and pretty successful. But for the next, we are going to replace it. So basically we will create decentralized ticketing services as a first pilot project to let people really get touched. So this is the framework. I'm not going to dive into the details. So I would say this is a great project. So this is the bridge. Bridge us from the Elastos to the real-time world. Let everybody, not only developers, but all the consumers get a feel on Elastos to feel the value and vision of that. So this is, time to market is also important. We try to be the iteration, fast iteration. So I call for everybody's support. So if you understand or if you want to support this vision, maybe you can also talk to us. So we are the same. Everybody in the community are the same. It's not about location. It's about what we want to participate. So we create a Telegram group already. So it's vacant, but happy to have everybody join us. Actually, one example, I was, in the past 2 days, I talked to a lot of international community leaders. So one example is Diego, right? So Diego actually helped me polish this PPT without any request from me. So that's the power of a community. So we don't know each other, right? So then we already work together. We share the same vision. So we try to make it successful for the community. So I think that's the power of the community part, like Feng said, right? Community, community, community. So let's work together and let's make something real for Elastos. So I hope by the end of year we have beta release. We will see some real good, great applications can running on top of Elastos. So back to everybody's country, I also call for your support so you can help to grow it in your local country. So we're not looking for developers, we're also looking for business development because this is the real world business. We want it operational in every world, every country. It's not just in China. So it should be a global fit. So let's work together to make Elastos great. Thank you.